My name is Tristan Kreider, and I am a 4th grader at Fox Run Elementary School. This is Sara Williams from Simmons Cut and Tan. Thank you for letting us interview you today to find out more about your career in hairstyles. Is it hard to cut thick hair?
It's harder to cut thick hair probably than thinner hair, but it's not. Sometimes it can be easier to cut it too. So overall, I can't say that it's definitely harder to cut thick hair because you could have somebody. I guess it just kind of depends on the person.
How do you dye people's hair?
It's pretty much 2 chemicals. One is a color, and then you pick out the color, and then you have a developer, and you pick out the right developer, and then you mix the 2 together, and then you can take a brush, and it'll be in a bowl, and you take a brush, and you can put it on the hair. That's mainly how we would do it. You could put it in a bottle and apply it that way too, but
Can you get hurt?
I have a lot of scars on my hands from where I've nipped myself, like with scissors. But as far as getting hurt, no, not really.
Have you accidentally shaved something that should not be shaved?
No. I maybe have had a few minor incidences through the years, but nothing really, like I really made a major mistake that I did shave something too short that I didn't mean to, or that I shouldn't have. But
Is it hard work?
I would say if you was working all day long, every single day, that yeah, it would kind of get to your back, and the bending over, washing people's hair and stuff like that. But for just working part-time and just limited hours, it's not hard work at all. In fact, it's kind of a break compared to housework and that kind of stuff.
Have you ever cut a kid's hair?
Yeah, yep, do kids all the time. That can be a challenge sometimes, getting them to hold still, particularly if it's a child with getting their first haircut and they don't know what it's all about and they're scared.
How do you curl hair that doesn't want to curl?
Well, sometimes that can be a challenge too. Sometimes, if you take it and you roll the hair and you put a curl in it, then you could spray with a little bit of hairspray. That kind of helps to kind of set the curl.
How many people do you do in a day?
Oh my. We usually just as average book 2 haircuts an hour. So every half an hour there's a haircut. So I guess if you worked, say, an 8-hour day, that'd be 16 people. But some people you might have, for 2 hours, that's like getting a perm or a color. So it could be less than that too. So it just all varies. And then some days you might have a busier day, or some days you might not have a very busy day.
What if your comb gets stuck in somebody's hair?
Head brushes get stuck. It's just something you just got to kind of keep on working it till you get it figured out. Sometimes there's detanglers you can spray. If people's got really, really, like tangly hair, you can spray a detangler, that helps. Sometimes ethnic hair can be really hard to work with, and which it's wetter is better for that to not get your comb stuck.
What is your favorite hairstyle?
don't know. That's a good question. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that.
Where do you work?
At Simmons Cut and Tan. It's in Harrisonburg, 133 West. Harrisonburg Fitness.
Do you ever try a style that doesn't work?
Sometimes. Sometimes people will pick out like a beautiful picture in a magazine or something like that, and you try to be brutally honest with them and tell them if you think, well, this might not be the best style for your hair, but if they still insist on trying it, then that's what you got to do. So
How is having good character important in your job?
I think like when you're friendly to people, you're definitely going to get better tips and try to please people. It just makes the job go a lot better, so that you want to build your clientele and have people come back to you again. So I think it's very important to be polite and have manners and be able to try to talk to people, and so they'll come back to you. You'll make more money.
How do you use reading in your job?
Whenever you're like mixing a perm, you want to read it and quickly and make sure that you're doing it right. You don't want to over process it on somebody's hair, or you want to make sure that you get the right perm for their hair and color the same way. So you just need to. It's limited reading, but but you just want to be able to read it quickly so that you make sure that you're doing it right. And the names, and like on the book, whenever people call in and you take an appointment, you want to try to write it down neatly so that the other girls can understand the person that they're going to have, which sometimes is hard, like when you're spelling like last names and things like that too.
How do you use math in your job?
Sometimes you have to kind of mix some formulas as far as like maybe some fractions, as far as like if you have a tube of color and you have to use half a tube of color for 2.5 times the developer. So you might multiply like whatever measurement of color you're using and multiply the developer. And there's other like little situations where, not a lot, but where math could come in, and as far as like measuring somebody's hair, somebody says they want 2 inches taken off, being a pretty good judge of 2 inches, even though I always say, is that what you want, just to make sure that they're 2 inches and my 2 inches is the same.
Do you need to go to college?
No. I went to Votech in Harrisonburg whenever I was in high school. I went through my 11th and 12th grade year, and a bus takes you up there and brings you back every day, and it was a 2-year course, and then I went to state boards and got my license. And then whenever I graduated from high school, I'd already had my license to do hair.
Do you like your job?
Yes, I do. I only work part-time. It's a lot to work with people that closely every single day, but just to work part-time, I like it a lot.
Do you have any equipment you use at your job that you would like to show us?
I just brought just a couple of things, and that is the cape that you put on. I'm sorry, it doesn't have hair on it. It's hard to clean it at home. But that's the cape that you put on, and you probably are familiar with that because you're probably going to get haircuts. And I just brought my comb and my scissors, and this is a wider tooth comb that I like to use because it goes through thicker hair and stuff, and then these are my little scissors. And this is what my license looks like. And that's a state license. If I moved to another state, I'd have to reapply. Virginia only. And that's about all I brought. Of course, we use clippers and a brush to get the hair off and other different things. But
Thank you for your time today for teaching us about your job as a hairstylist. This is Tristan Kreider signing in for Fox Run Elementary School.
thank you. It's my pleasure.
You're welcome.